That's ubnradio.com.
The Marla and Dave radio experience begins in 3, 2, 1.
Now, if you're ready, we will begin.
Welcome to the Marla and Dave radio show. This is reality radio with a couple that keeps it real. Current events, pop culture, music, relationships, fitness, the hot topics of the day. Marla and Dave Thomas. This is the Marla and Dave radio show. Real radio. Turn up!
Welcome to the Marla and Dave show. Welcome to the Marla and Dave show with my returning co-host, Mr. Benjamin Patterson.
Hey, thank you so much. Oh, look at the crowd. Watch out now. Stop that. Don't grab my booty. Stop grabbing my booty. Touch my booty.
Oh my God, it's always fun here in the Madhouse. I don't even want to waste any of our valuable time. We have so much to talk about today. First of all, let me first, before I do anything, offer my sincere apologies and regret. Unfortunately, Tye White was unable to join us. But we are going to get him in here.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. It's you know what? Maybe he suggested coming for the closer.
Yeah, for the season finale.
For the finale.
That'll be hot.
Of Greenleaf. Will you come back and join him?
I will absolutely come back, and I'm going to come with a turkey dinner, some dressing.
Dude, you got to stop.
Pumpkins.
Like, it's, you know what's
Christmas cookies.
You know what's uncool about you? Huh. You're like the super fit guy that makes everybody around you fat. I'm trying not to give you the middle finger right now, so just sit tight. Behave yourself, Ben.
I'm going to be over here. But you did surprise me with some lovely Susie'sCake.com.
Yes.
Cupcakes
yes.
with my name.
His name is on his cupcake.
The camera can see
it's
that.
Right here. Your camera's right in front of you, so you can, whatever you show them.
I'm looking right there.
Okay.
See, I don't
there you go.
tip it too far because I'm eating this.
His says Ben.
Right? The two of us will look no more. And Tye says, Tye, we miss you, man.
That's right. We don't pour out liquor here, but we throw out cupcakes.
Right, we're going to pour out some for the missing homies.
All right, so before we go any further, let me do my typical housekeeping. Always reminding everybody that for those people who think that they cannot have their own business or own your own business, you're wrong. You can. It's something that you can do, Ben.
Absolutely. I mean, look at dope dealers. For real. On a if it was
on a low scale thing, but it's true.
It's like
and they're actually smart. But you know what's
you're selling the wrong product.
But you know what's smarter?
Right.
The selfie station. The selfie station is the smarter way to go. It's a small little compact. And you know what, Ben? I went to a party at your house recently for the premiere of Greenleaf. And your party was out of control. It was so fun. I enjoyed myself fully. The only thing, I hate to go here, that would have made it just over the absolute cliff that you live on would have been to have a selfie station.
You know what? I have to agree with that because there's times when you can you want to take a picture, but it's like if it was just sitting there.
It instantly, people will pay you to become the life of their party, and you take a basic party and turn it into a red carpet party. And today, if you're tuning in and you're watching this, just for today, there's $500 off the professional package for those people who want to get your own selfie station. This is a great way to own your own business. You can get $500 off. Enter the M&D show, as well as go to ubnselfie.com and get started today. There you go. Get your own selfie station. Now, in the meantime, welcome again to the Marla and Dave show with Marla and Ben.
Hey.
Wow. I have to start today with a weekly shout out.
Yes.
Last week I was remiss not to do this. You know, you two, Ben, are in the BMW club.
I am in the club, yes, BMWs.
Matter of fact, okay.
Ben
again,
Motorworks.
Yeah, you okay. No. We all don't have one of two BMWs in the whole country. But I do have one that I love. And my BMW needed some repair, and I want to give a shout out to L&A Garage. Which, because I'm past my warranty on my car.
Oh, yeah. And that's when the stuff gets expensive.
Right. And this guy put in I had a turbo coil in my engine as well as all my spark plugs. Killed it.
Oh, okay.
My car runs brand new.
Yeah.
And I just want to give a shout out to the people who always take good care of me. And when I find a great mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
He's not paying me to do this. I'm doing it because it's worthwhile. Period. Seriously.
Yeah, you have to because they keep you going.
And you don't have fingernails, but I personally am. My hair's blue, but it doesn't really matter. I'm obsessed with my own nails.
You have to be.
Because you can really cut my hair off, and I really wouldn't care one iota.
But the nails. Got that crypto gel.
Yes. Yeah. All the time.
All the time.
And that's my girl Chris Bastigian from Acrylic Salon in Glendale. Always on point. She keeps it real, and she's all the people that are around me, which I'm blessed because they're just good people.
Yeah.
Greg Gilmore, who keeps my hair on fleek. Chris, who keeps my nails on fleek.
Holler at Greg if you want that blue track. I'm telling you, that blue is hot.
What? You don't know nothing about blues that are sexy like this. These are sexy blues.
Chocolate pudding.
The other thing, right quick, I'm of course, for those of you who don't know, I watch Wimbledon. Wimbledon is back on.
Wimbledon, right?
Starting today.
Yeah.
So I don't have the update of all the scores because tomorrow I'll be fixed on the TV, and it's a perfect time to do it. How hot is it at your house, Ben?
It is officially in the garage 101.
Okay, that
Fahrenheit.
sucks because it's 101 at my house, so I'm feeling really bad for you because the valley is usually 10 degrees hotter.
Always 10 degrees hotter. It is like the equator goes across the valley for some reason and it goes back down. That's how hot it is. See how I did that? Geography. What? Okay,
and the other thing I want to tell you is this. You know what? For my listeners, and I shout out always to the MaD family, everybody in my chat room. Somebody's asking questions. Is Dave still in Japan? No, Dave is not in Japan. Dave is now in Poland. Let me tell you guys a quick Take 6 drama that happened on the road. They were leaving Japan on their way to Poland with a stopover. They had a 4-hour layover in Paris.
Okay.
They have Jarrett Johnson, who's joining the group for this particular tour, singing baritone. Well, he has never done international travel, at least to Paris. And the 4-hour layover, Alvin said, yeah, man, if you haven't done it, go ahead and you should take a cab and go to the Eiffel Tower and come back.
Oh, and come back. No.
He missed the plane.
Oh.
He missed the plane.
He was like, hey, yo.
And I'm like, you can't be, now you really need to reset, Jared. What the hell?
Yeah. Oh,
it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
But he made it because, ironically, again, as God would have it, he hooks it all up. There was a whole day's layover when they got to Poland.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right,
I've been to that airport in Paris.
Have you?
You can go shopping in that airport in Paris.
Really?
It's that dope. Yeah.
Is there a place you haven't been?
A lot.
That you want to go?
You know what? I've been to Tunis, and I haven't been to any other part of Africa. So I've been around. I've been by Morocco and all that, and Portugal and all that. I've gone to the Canary Islands, but I haven't hit like Africa as a whole. I've been to parts of Southeast Asia, but I haven't hit any other. I've been to Europe a couple of times. I've been to Australia a couple of times, or one time.
So, and I know that you're getting ready to take a little tropical vacation coming up.
Yes, I am.
Are you going to which are you going to wear in the water, Noah? Are you going to wear your boxers? Are you going to wear your Speedos? What you going to do?
Well, since I'm going to Mexico. Puerto Vallarta.
Oh my God!
I will be in something appropriate for the time.
Listen, I just it's a little Rome. Teaser. When
in Mexico.
Yeah, the barrio. I feel what you're saying. Anyway, Greenleaf.
Greenleaf. Did you watch last week? You were at my house.
Duh.
Yeah.
And I watched after that, for the record.
I did too.
And I watched the whole thing all the way over. I watched 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, so
I could get a whole big picture of the thing.
Yeah, it's shaping up. A lot of people are messaging. They created a fan board on Facebook, Greenleaf Family, and people are going on it, and they're already having problems with people on the show, which is good. You know what I mean? Like everybody's like, well, I don't know why he would do that to her, and I don't know why she would come at the sister like that at the table. I'm like. Yeah.
Right.
Keep it going.
Why did they do that?
Why did you come at her like that?
What happened?
Why did he go in the closet and?
So I'm checking up there. Okay, so looking at my clock. And by the way, I know you guys are used to me bringing in. You can turn your mic on, John. Oh, okay. I want to introduce you guys to John, who's engineering with us today.
John.
I'm really mad John doesn't have a camera because right now I think I
10
just
Shades of Red.
embarrassed him. I just
red.
That's why I'm always behind the scenes and never in front of the camera.
Yeah. Red's a good color though.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I always get, Ethan. Yeah.
Tonight.
Woo. You think he looks like Ethan Hawke?
A little bit.
You look like Eric Benet. So
Derek Benet. If you hashtag Derek Benet on Instagram, I come up.
That's crazy.
Because I hashtagged it.
Let me tell you guys this. This is an inside joke. By the way, welcome to all the newcomers in the chat room. Gloria Lynn, what's up?
Hey, Gloria.
All the regulars are always here. MaD family. I considered today coming in here, John, nude.
Oh,
but
yeah?
just to outdo I have to, for the last 2 weeks, I'm feeling some kind of a
Well, I am showing a cleavage shot at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am getting that. So that helps.
I'm just trying to have what Ben may not have. That's all I'm trying to do.
Now he's competing.
So now I'm like, I lay my fingernails on top of my breast because he doesn't have these.
I can't even do that.
And he can't. So I'm like, you know what?
Take
Take this, Ben. Take this. Who are you talking to? Last week he came in with his Apple Betty.
That was ferocious.
Anyway, so we've been locked on Greenleaf. Ben Patterson, unfortunately, Tye was not able to make it. Ben's back here for round 2 in the MaD House. I love having him. It was a seamless hosting marriage between the two of us. We're going to talk Greenleaf. We're really going to talk Greenleaf. This is all about Greenleaf.
Yes.
Church.
Drama.
Dysfunction,
yes.
How far do things really go?
Yes.
And let's get into the story. Let's get into the plot. I want to talk about what happened behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get into it all. Mm-hmm. We'll be right back.
It's going to be some good stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, son.
You're coming up next.
Oh.
We're not off, though.
And no, here you go.
Current events, pop culture, the hot topics of the day. It's time for MaD News on the Marla and Dave radio show. Ladies and gentlemen, Marla and Dave.
All right, this is a segment of our show where we talk about some of the hottest news stories. And I want to give this caveat this week. For the last couple of weeks, I purposely have been avoiding political conversations, and I'm going to tell you why. When I have a guest in the MaD House, politics, especially now, are very heated, and I don't believe in exposing, not even exposing, but having someone talk about their political views, because it may change, especially when you're dealing with entertainment, the views of how it affects what people are willing to watch and not watch when it comes to you. So my opinions are very, strong, and I have them, and I will resume with a very heated political discussion, maybe, possibly, depending on what's going on with the election, when Dave returns. But I'm not going to do that to Ben because that's not what he's here for. All right?
That's what I'm here for, y'all.
So there you go. So, are you kidding me?
Oh.
Which is good. Now, I did this on purpose, Ben, because last week we had one that was tragic.
Yeah.
And the little girl who put the kid, and then you put her in timeout because it's deserving. But even though she'll be in timeout for the rest of her life mentally.
She's done.
But yeah. So on the flip side, this little boy, which I saw the whole story on the news, he walked up to a gentleman and he said, "Let me do a chore for you and clean your windows, just in return for food," and he wanted donuts. No, I'm serious. And they were the poorest family ever. His mom is sick.
Okay.
And he's an A student. He's in Memphis, Tennessee. Chauncey's Chance.
Yeah.
Yes. And so the man who he approached, it changed Chauncey's life and it changed his life, because the gentleman took food home to him and said he'd never seen squalor like that. But this young man never lost his way. He didn't resort to crime. He was doing odd jobs.
Right.
They weren't really eating, barely.
Right.
Whatever he could scrape up for his mom, who couldn't work. And he started a GoFundMe, and at this point, they managed to actually get into a house. They had no beds. It was just a shanty.
Yeah.
In the woods in Memphis, outside of Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay. Wow.
So that's amazing.
That is amazing.
So that can erase the little kid who mistakenly pushed her brother into traffic.
Right. And that shows you too that you don't always we had nothing, so I resorted to X.
Right.
It's like, look, we had nothing, but I went around and I just made it happen on the positive side.
Right.
So good for him.
All right. The next thing is, I wanted your input on the news, and you came with something that we unanimously have to agree is out of control. And there's a personal link here for you.
Yes.
But we're talking about the speech from Jesse.
Yes.
And Jesse, and I keep wanting to, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to call him Jesse.
Jesse Williams?
Williams.
Don't say Jesse Johnson. Don't say Jesse Jackson.
This man.
Yeah, Jesse Williams. My goodness.
Last night at the BET Awards, if you don't watch the BET Awards for any other reason, his speech.
Yeah.
Holy gamoly.
Yeah.
When you think there's no longer consciousness, when you think that there's no longer healing intent, purpose.
Yeah, because it wasn't anything other than like, positive, strong, but positive, and also very like, look, I'm setting this stage. This is the standard. Right. Let's live up to this standard now, which is what people need. Our generation, we came off the heels of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Jesse Jackson for a lot of, sakes and purposes. But now it's like people are going to go, oh, I know that dude from the BT speech. Right.
And you know him personally because you worked with him on Grey's Anatomy.
I worked with him on Grey's Anatomy. And the closing scene while I was in the bed being, in transition, essentially, he's the doctor who comes in and tells me it's going to be all right.
Amazing. Well, we want you to make sure if you guys haven't seen the speech, please go to BET and BET.com or find it online.
Yeah, you can
go to YouTube. Yeah. It's like I think it may have even gone #1 in trending.
Yeah.
It's an incredible speech. You can't miss it.
Tons of hits.
So right before we get out of here for the news, I will ask you this, and this is not really political, but it leans there just a little bit. Do you agree or disagree that every state should put their registered gun owners in an FBI database? Agree or disagree? I think it's a good start.
I think it's a good start. And the reason why is because when you're registered, you are conscious of what you own. You're aware of the implications. And also, and people that collect guns or whatever, that's your hobby. You go to the shooting range, you get your gun on, whatever. But then there's people that go, okay, well, I want to own, 15 of these. It's like, okay, now come on.
I equate this to the same way that I'm never offended. I am never offended when I go to a store and I show my credit card and they say, can we see your ID?
Absolutely.
But there are people who are.
Yes, and they're tripping until they hit.
And I feel like that's for my protection. I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I am who I say I am.
Right.
So there you go.
Because if you wasn't, then why would you say you am?
Right. Then I want to be Ben.
Hey.
When I grow up, I'm going to come back as Ben. No, then I have to rate, even though Zach is beautiful.
Yeah, he's cute.
I got to start over. I can't.
You got to start over.
No, I can't. I just want to play with him.
He dookied like a Tyrannosaurus Rex today. I mean, I was looking at him like, dog. That did not come out of me.
On that note, we'll be right back.
This ain't your mama's radio show. Can you handle the truth? Then get ready for a real radio experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Marla and Dave.
All right, we're back again with my guest and co-host in Dave's stead. We've been blessed, actually.
Hey.
Seamless energy, love Ben, friend for life. But Ben's been kind enough to come in and co-host with me. Unfortunately, we invited as well Tye White, who was going to be able to come in, who's also one of his co-stars in the series Greenleaf.
Yes.
But we've got a Greenleafer here, and he's MaD
genuine
family.
Yes.
So we're gonna just turn this whole thing up and we're going to just talk about it. The first thing I want to talk about is the story. Who wrote the story? Like but you can tell me who, but how was this whole thing conceived or inspired? Do you know how it?
From what I know, I don't know everything. I know Craig Wright and Oprah came up with this concept a few years ago and said, and I think Oprah also took from her childhood and incorporated stuff. Craig incorporated things, and they came out with a story where Grace was originally not the preacher's daughter, but then they evolved the character and made her who she was. And they basically wanted to tell this story and get people involved in such a way that they could really relate. And it just happened to be the backdrop is the church. It's not necessarily about church. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's more
Are you
about
sure?
a family. I mean, I feel like because of the context of the story, you would think, oh, it's a religious show. And it's more, at least to me, it's more of a family.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Running, running their thing, their business.
I totally agree. In that way. When, in other words, it's centered around the dysfunction, and the cover-up is centered around a first family.
Yes.
In church, but it's certainly not.
No, it's not saying
no,
religion's
exactly.
bad, church is bad.
Correct. No, right. It doesn't.
It's like saying family.
It's not about religion. It's about what happens behind the scenes. And what's interesting about Greenleaf to me, I'm just going to be straight out. We grew up, David and I grew up Seventh-day Adventist, and I always want to remind everybody, this is always an open conversation. So 323-284-7826.
Yes.
Bring your questions. You guys can call in. This can be equally your interview. So that's all fine and well.
But you won't get a cupcake.
You're not getting his cupcake. But we are now talking about your son in the chat room and his massive dinosaur poop.
Dinosaur, yes.
It's going on
T-Rex.
right now. Yes.
It's trending.
Zach has now, he has arrived. Zach is, dino poop is trending. Just so you know, hashtag dino poop.
Here's what's pooping.
Anyway.
Oh, that's just popping. That's
hilarious. Anyway, so what struck me right away is we grew up in a completely conservative Christian. We grew up Seventh-day Adventist. And were you associated at all with church as a young man growing up, as a child?
As a child, so I grew up in Oakland, and there was a couple of different like religious groups. There's a lot of Catholic, there's a lot of Baptist, and there's Mormon, and then there's a few others, especially if you go to San Francisco,
right?
Different things. But I went to Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School from kindergarten to 3rd, and then I went to Catholic school from 4th to 8th. And it was just because like the Oakland public schools at that time, the public schools in the neighborhood weren't the best choices. So it was like either you go here and you deal with this, or you go to this Catholic school and it's a little bit more structured and you deal with this. And so my parents were like, we'll just put them in those schools, because the first school I went to was public and it was great. It was just all the way over in West Oakland, and 2 working parents getting kids over there and coming back over to East Oakland. So I was actually an altar boy until I realized I had to get up every Sunday morning, and that didn't last. I was like an altar boy for like 3 weeks. And then so I went to churchy like Easter and did the Sunday.
Right.
But I wasn't like fully immersed in it, because when we got home, it wasn't like we were a very religious household. So yes and no.
Okay, so but you didn't have to. You didn't experience any of these particular. No. Okay, so
not firsthand.
Right. So for us. In as Black Seventh-day Adventists, which, by the way, for those who don't know, who are listening, and for you as well, John, Seventh-day Adventist is very much like Orthodox Judaism. Okay. It's that strict.
Okay.
Their dietary restrictions. You're required to never eat anything that has a split hoof.
Oh, okay.
No scavengers of the sea.
Okay, so no shrimp, no.
Correct. No seafood.
Yeah.
Other than what has scales and fins.
Okay, so that makes sense.
So I can eat. We're supposed to eat. Well, I can eat anything because I'm no longer a practicing Adventist.
Right.
But so bass. I mean, things that you the same with cows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
If you were gonna eat a horse, you could, because it's
it's one hoof. But then you can't eat what you riding on. You're like, hey man.
If you want to eat your Uber,
that's how it happens. I was trying to get it out. Hey man, can we go down the street? Nah, man, I ate that. You can't go.
You can if you walk, because we
gonna
ate your
walk
horse.
home.
Yeah. But anyway, and then from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, everything goes flat. You shouldn't be preparing food.
Right.
It's the 4th commandment in the Bible.
Right. Okay.
Honor the 7th day, the Sabbath, the Lord thy God, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so in the church, and it's interesting because Marla herself was part of, I was like the Greenleaf family, because my ancestor, my grandfather, whose last name was Cox, we were that family.
Oh, wow, okay.
So he was a minister, but there's 9 boys. Several of them became ministers, and so if you say that name in the Adventist circle anywhere in the United States, they're like, "Wait a minute, you're Jeter's granddaughter?"
Wow,
it's like that.
Okay, so yeah.
But so with this strict Christian upbringing, which I found to be very interesting, thing number one, and before we even get going with this, John, do you mind if we just play that one clip of Greenleaf?
Oh yeah, this is a good one. For you. Which
no, this is the whole.
Oh,
but not right. This is a new one.
This is the family clip, I believe, right?
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to talk about some of these things, because I'm a.
Oh yeah, this is good.
I realized something last night. Our relationship as we know it is dead.
You get to see within the energetic dynamic of this family that the front that they present is one thing, but what's going on behind the curtain is something completely different. So that's why I love this episode. I particularly loved working with Greg Allen because I get to say, get the hell out of my place. Get the hell out of my place.
I saw the mayor today, Mavis. He mentioned your expansion plans.
Did he now?
Yeah, because he still thinks of us as family. Ain't that something?
I think Mac is sick and misguided. I don't think he's seeing reality clearly. He doesn't understand the world correctly. Mavis, just like Grace, feels guilty about having lost Faith, about having not been able to push to get justice for Faith way back when it happened the first time. Grace ran off, but Mavis didn't go to the cops back then either.
You want to keep your club? You want to keep strutting up and down Beale Street like some kind of cheap-ass Jesus to these $3 ticket scratchers? Tell Gigi to leave it alone.
I love the dynamic that's showing itself between Mavis and her brother and eventually her sister. I tell you what I can't wait for. I can't wait for a scene with Lady May and Mavis. That's coming.
You ain't ready for it, son.
Okay, so let me give you guys a quick if first of all, and you can always talk back to me here in the chat room.
Being audited.
It's still playing.
You have extramarital affairs.
It's all good. You know, ladies and gentlemen, John.
What up, John?
I thought it was extended clip.
That's
All right,
hilarious.
there you go.
Okay, so a little bit, I really want you guys to watch the series. But I'm going to go back and talk about what I was saying. Mm-hmm. So what was interesting to me, is there anywhere while I'm talking about this, John, that there's a clip, and I didn't pull it up, but of Noah's love scene that we might want to try to find that, because interestingly enough, because premarital sex biblically, but enforced in my background in church, when you got into it with into this first scene with your fiance, what is her character name?
Isabel.
Okay. I was like, okay, I threw my hands up in the air because you, out of a spiritual obligation, Noah, decided to wait.
Yes.
And I thought that was some of the best writing I've ever seen, because if that is not the guidance of what you think as a Christian, where she goes, essentially she gives you head. She goes in and she gives you a blowjob.
Right.
And you're like, but wait, I thought we were waiting. And she's like, we're not actually going to do it.
Yeah.
This is something. And I'm like, my brain, and I wanted to jump up, but I didn't want to get bludgeoned at your house.
Yeah.
Hold this thought. We're going to grab this call right quick. Caller, you're on the Marla and Dave show with Marla and Ben from Greenleaf. What's your name and where you're calling from? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Chris Watkins from Hyattsville, Maryland.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
How you doing, Chris?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Do you have a question or a comment for either myself or my lovely co-host, Mr. Benjamin Patterson?
Actually, I happened to find you guys. You popped up on my Facebook, and I saw this was something like some type of financial, bringing financial awareness to you, things of that nature, and that piqued my interest. And I looked at the time. I said, well, maybe I can still catch, call in and catch and see what's going on.
Oh,
I am
guess what? We're glad you called us, but I'm not sure what's showing on my Facebook. But today's show is actually a show about the new Oprah series, Greenleaf. And then it's all good. I want to introduce you to a phenomenal actor, Mr. Benjamin Patterson.
Hey.
You probably will never speak to this man again, but now look what you did. You made it. You made it. You've arrived.
Wow. Well, I'm honored. Thank you so much.
Hey.
I'm looking forward to, as a matter of fact, I have to get the OWN station.
Yes.
And I'm switching cable services with this weekend, as a matter of fact. But I'm looking forward to actually looking at the series.
Yeah, you should also download the app on your phone or your pad. iPad or your tablet of what sorts, and you can actually watch up to episode 3, and this week it'll be episode 4, so you'll be caught up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And furthermore, we had a show on financial management about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago. So here's what I would suggest, and I'm glad you called because this will be information that, you never give information that only one person can use. www.marla, MARLA, and Dave.com. And any of our past shows that interest you, you can access right there on our website. But right now, we're live. So
Awesome.
No, yeah, thanks for calling us, and call back anytime. And I hope that you become a regular and you're always in the MaD family because you're always welcome here.
I will. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, back to you and your blowjob.
That's a transition.
You like that?
For that.
First of all, Ben, I'm going to be honest because I don't know how to do anything different.
Please do.
I was afraid for a little bit when I saw that. First of all, if you have not seen this, man, you guys push so many limits here.
I watched that scene with my mother sitting next to me.
Dude, I was afraid that I was going to see your penis. I didn't want to see it. I was worried.
I was like, okay.
I was really worried.
How far are we going to go?
Yeah, Mike was sitting there. I was like, God, I don't want this thing to come out. And then, but your friends were all in the room and they were staring at the TV. So I was like, well, I shouldn't look away. They're not afraid.
I'm asleep,
when the covers came down and I was like, I saw some abs and some. Anyway, so
you got to tune in. You got to tune in. Get the app.
People,
get the app. And on Wednesday when they show episode 4, they're going to show 1, 2, and 3.
And I love that.
Yeah,
I do love that. You never lost. You can keep up. Because I watched the premiere at Ben was kind enough to invite me to his home to see the premiere, which was an incredible time. But then when I saw it on Wednesday, I watched 1, 2, and 3, and everybody around me is now watching. Everybody that in my condo complex, they're like, "Oh my God!" They're stopping me every minute because I have everyone watching it.
Oh, thank you so much.
So yeah, for sure, because it's just a really good series. So. You didn't have that experience, but I just want to tell you that, and David is in here now. I don't know if he'll call, but when David and I were dating, he moved in with me.
Okay.
But he really had his own apartment, but he really was at my place all the time. And when we decided to get married, we were here. He had done a session with Stevie Wonder.
Okay.
And we were like, look, we don't want all the hoopla. I didn't even have a ring. And we went down to the townhouse, to the courthouse. And his mother said, well, honey, because we're going to drive back across country and have the wedding a week later.
Right, okay.
I just feel like that you guys should just go ahead and get married there, which is hence we did it that way. Because anything could happen, sweetie, and you could stop along the way. And I thought, okay, first I have someone else's baby. I'm already a mother, so clearly there's no virgin stuff happening here. And he's been at my house in the come on. But it was like that.
Right.
So I guess, in your own mind, that. So to see that, how did you relate to that strict?
Yes, that I actually did, because I had friends growing up that lived 2 houses over and up from us that were just like super strict. They could not go outside and play for anything. Their mother was Jehovah's Witness. And they would literally, like, if we were outside playing and they would be in the window, be like, come outside. Nah. Super strict.
That's crazy. So that you could relate to.
Absolutely. That adherence to the rule type of mentality.
And I'm going to get more information from you as we go along. But how did you get to be the kind playboy? Dude, you running things on what the hell?
Hey, it was a cold night. And if you guys can hear that music. Oh my goodness.
Did I bring this man a cupcake? I need him to not turn up on sugar before we're done with this. I'm afraid.
Yeah, the way they created this character, I think is really a cool way to like explore the vulnerable side of being a man in love, and then also like the business side of having a family to relate to and loyalty issues and all this kind of stuff. So it's a pretty cool guy that they've created.
Okay, hold that thought. We'll be right back with more with Benjamin Patterson from Greenleaf. Be right back.
Hey guys, listen up. learn something. 26 years of marriage from two unique perspectives equals 52 years of relationship experience. It's time for Ask Marla and Dave. Answers to your questions about life, love, and relationship based on Marla and Dave's real-life experience. It's about to get real. Ask Marla and Dave.
We'll do those. Okay, man, Ben and I, F this. We're making our own rules. We don't do what you tell us to do, David. Anyway, this is the Ask Marla and Dave segment of the show. Ask Marla and Dave is a segment where you write in, you ask us whatever you want to know, and we're going to answer you honestly and just give you our opinions on whatever questions. There are no right and wrong questions here on the Marla and Dave show. You know, our motto is transparency and truth. And here's the question we're being asked today. I'm completely conflicted and need your help. My daughter's 17 and she and I have a really close relationship. She's always been honest with me and recently confided that she's madly in love with her boyfriend and has decided to have sex with him. She wants my blessing and advice about birth control. On one hand, I'm glad that she is taking the initiative to protect herself, but on the other hand, I would rather that she abstain from sex until she can handle all of the consequences of that emotional investment. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thanks. They're called chastity belts, and you should find one and keep the key. No, okay. On a serious level, I'm gonna just say this. I tend to relate to life through my own experiences. I had sex way too young. I was a mother at 19. I never got into drugs, but clearly I got into sex. So, and the consequences of sex before you can handle the relationship responsibility are something that we should really help our children avoid at all cost. Because I think that you once you make that move, you can't. I don't think you make decisions as clearly, because you're making them through this emotional investment. Where if you're not connected in that way, which for women especially is very vulnerable, once you connect like that, it's hard to say this dude's not really for me and move on, because now you've got this. But I love. You can't. That's everything. You can't. You can't be clear. You can't think clear. And on the other hand, I think we ought to really wake up, because our bodies wake up as adolescents, right. And that's kind of how we're designed. And now we're unnaturally pushing limits. So we should be able to understand. But what I do applaud this mother for is having an open enough relationship with her daughter.
That is dope. Because if it was any other way and she was just doing it.
What would you tell Zach?
I would tell Zach, you know what? Wait, because although you feel like this is just it and it's going to be the bomb and it's all these different, and all your friends are talking about and all this and that.
Even though he's a boy, you would advise?
Okay. Even though he's a boy, because I feel like similarly with the emotional attachment, I feel like what goes on afterwards, like, okay, now, because let's say you're 17. I graduated high school when I was 17. So you're 17, you're a junior or you're a senior, and you got college to deal with, or because maybe you're not going to college, maybe it's the military, maybe you're just going to go to work, whatever. That's just another thing to factor in, like the day to day, and right. It's like it clouds your judgment. Like I have friends, family members, that have gone through things that I'm, personally, like everyone goes through stuff where you go like, damn, if I just hadn't gone down,
connected, right,
doggy style road, I'd be all right.
Doggy style road. Hilarious. Anyway, that's the Ask Marla and Dave. Remember, ask us whatever you like. Right there, you can find it, www.marlandave.com on our website, or you can hit us up on our Facebook page, The Marla and Dave Show. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Marla and Dave radio show. Marla and Dave want to talk to you. Phone lines are open at 323-284-7826. 323-284-7826.
Hey, we've got a caller. Thanks, caller, for holding. That you're on with the Marla and Dave show with Marla and Ben.
How you doing?
What's your name? And tell me where you're calling from.
Hey, this is Dave, everybody. Calling in
God,
from
David again.
Somewhere in Poland.
Hey.
I don't even know what I walked into. When the phone picked up, all I heard was doggy style road.
Dave,
man, I wish I lived there.
Dave, you don't want to. Dave, what's wrong with you? You know what, Dave? I'm gonna say this now because we're with friends and family.
I moved in the wrong place.
You're gonna be the old. You're gonna be the old pervert man, aren't you? Do you want me to buy you a van and get you started on your pervert kit?
Once I heard the stories about people, once you get Alzheimer's and you start going to your baser self and you just start doing stuff that your first thing to come to your mind, I was like, oh my God. I hope someone's going to have to take me out soon before I get too old.
Don't worry, Dave. I'm willing to club you. It's free. It's part of the marriage contract.
It's extremely embarrassing.
All right, so
anyway, you guys are having a great show. You know what? I have to represent some people in the chat room. They asked me to. I think it was Sandra who said she came in late, but she wants to know exactly when she can catch Greenleaf. What time does it come on TV?
Greenleaf every Wednesday night. 10/9 Central. Check your local cable provider because sometimes it comes on, depending on where you are, it'll come on 3 hours earlier. So it actually will come on at 7 and 6 Central. 10/9 Central on OWN.
There you have it. Now, I actually didn't know that if you had the app, which
that's pretty cool.
Being deprived.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the app tonight.
Yes, if you get the app, you can actually watch every episode that's been aired. I thought it was the whole season, but you can watch up to whatever episode has been aired. So this week it'll be up to episode 4.
Right now, by the way, Ben, I'm chastising the people in the chat room. The chastisement sounds like this. Did you just get Dave to call all the way from Poland to ask your questions? The hell is wrong with you people? That's what I'm really saying.
That's enough, Marla and Ben. I'm going to tell you this because it is actually almost 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You need to take your ass to sleep because when the show sucks and we don't get paid, I'm going to be mad.
I was asleep. I looked up and I thought Ben had started working, had bought a Susie cake, a store and started making his own Susie cakes. I was like, what the hell?
Listen, Dave, I cheated. I'm telling you that I cheated. I said, listen, it's 101. And today I literally, by the way, I have your Pyrex. I'm going to get it back.
Thank you so much.
And I was going to put my peach dump cake back in the Pyrex. I still am and bring it back.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I literally today, I'm like, okay, make the peach dump cake. And I looked at the temperature and I was outside because I train.
Yeah.
And I was in the gym and then I got home and I was like, you know what? Ben's getting a Susie cake. It's air conditioned in there. I'm doing it.
You can't turn on.
But your Susie cake is special because it has your name on it.
It does have my name on it.
And there's Susie cake for John too. You can pick whatever one you want in there, John.
Oof.
Is one of them? All I have to ask is one of them red velvet.
He got red velvet.
Hey.
Yeah, he got a red velvet. So Dave, let me ask you a question right quick. Okay. What is the most, because we both grew up in the same church environment, and that's what we've been talking about. In one of the scenes with Ben and Ben's character on the show his name is Noah, and he's with his fiance, and he says he's like, no, stick around. And she goes, well, I thought we were gonna wait, and he says, she goes, we are. I mean, we're gonna do everything but that, and she goes under the covers to give him a blowjob, and I'm like, the thing I was just talking to him about was foul, because in reality that is sex. Yeah. It's oral sex. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, but that's that church.
That's the mentality.
Or there used to be people, and I know this is raw, but there used to be people that I knew that would say they just had anal sex all the time.
That's true.
Because it's not intercourse. I'm like, you're out of your damn mind. Matter of fact, not only is it intercourse, it's the most painful kind that ever before.
Well, sometimes in the church things can get technical, and that's because the church usually tries to separate human behavior from church rules, and so at that point, you get kind of you get Clintonian in your sexual perspective.
Get Bill Clintonian.
And so, and Dave, we snuck around and broke all the rules back in the day.
I was a bad influence. I apologize.
All right, well, we're going to get more into the behind the scenes of Greenleaf, talking to Ben. So you can feel free if you would like to take more no-dos and stay up, or...
Well, you guys are having a great show. Thanks for holding it down, Ben. You're doing a great job as usual.
Can I tell you this, though? It was a little disturbing to me, and I will tell all of our listeners as well as Ben, when I spoke to Dave after Game 7, and he couldn't speak. He had lost his voice.
Oh, yeah.
From screaming, and I'm like, bro, did you just fly all the way overseas to not make any money because your ass was yelling at Steph Curry and the Warriors? I cut him off. Hey, just hang him up. We're done with him.
Luckily, somebody actually went out and helped me find some black seed oil, so it kind of helped my voice come back. So I'm good.
We need you to be more responsible with our career. Goodbye, Dave.
I do. You guys hold it down. I'll keep listening.
Hey,
all right.
Dave.
See you later.
Take care, Dave.
Okay, so how was it been filming the sex scene? Was it awkward for you? And especially so we know that you're in a gay relationship. You're married.
Yes, I'm married.
You have a husband.
Mm-hmm.
But in this series, we got two things to discuss. Now, Tye was going to be here, but I wanted to get the dichotomy of Tye being in life, a heterosexual gentleman, but
with
yet
a beautiful girlfriend.
Yes, his girlfriend is gorgeous.
She's wonderful.
Yeah, she is.
She's wonderful.
Again, I didn't necessarily meet any assholes around you. I'm sure that they may exist, but I don't know that you call them friend. And if they are, kudos for you for keeping them out of your house. And we have to talk about that before we get out of here, and we'll do that at the end as well as we'll back up and play our mood songs. But let's talk about the sex scenes.
So the interesting behind the backstory of that was we met 10 minutes before that was actually filmed. So we shot a couple scenes outside. We shot the scene where I'm driving up to the front of the house and she gets out and then, the daughter returns, that whole scene. Mm-hmm. Then we go to the sound stage and it's, hey, this is your fiance. Hi, Anna. Hi, Ben. Da, 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 da. And I'm looking at the scene. I'm like, did you read this? And she's like, yeah, I did. And so the executive producer, Clement, comes over and goes, hey, so you guys met. Good. So let's go over to Noah's bungalow, and we're gonna kind of like, walk this through so we know what's gonna happen. And we both, after a few times of rehearsing, we kind of looked at each other like, okay, you cool? Like, are you cool? I'm cool. Like, are you cool? He's like, yeah, I'm cool. I'm like, look, are you cool? And we kind of just like, took that leap of faith and we're like, look, I'm gonna be there for you, you be there for me, and everything's gonna be fine. And we clicked instantly, so it was a great working dynamic. Okay. So we were able to like give ourselves to each other and really be, and that held throughout the entire season, because like we have a lot of good debates and we have good dialogue and good interaction together. So it all stemmed from that first meeting of like, hey, let's get butt naked.
Oh my goodness.
Ish.
What was that conversation like when you got home to talk to Mike?
I was actually laughing because I was thinking, I didn't do anything wrong, but why do I feel like I just cheated? Like, really? I just feel like, but then I started laughing because I'm like, and she's hella fine. Like, I just was instantly back in high school. I'm like,
before you were with Mike, or you realized you had a different sexual assignment, because it's not. When I say it's, I don't want to say gender, because it's not gender.
Right.
It's really just a sexual preference.
Yes.
Right.
And
okay.
I've had girlfriends, and
that's the question.
Yeah, I've had girlfriends. I've had sex with a woman before. Like, I know people that are like, no, ew, and I know people that are like, nah, I don't be doing like that. And then I know people that are like,
so what was the decision for you to go, no, this is not really me? Did you have a deciding moment, or just life just kind of transitioned for you where you were
interesting?
Like,
because I don't think I really had a bam moment. I do know that growing up, there was a male same-sex couple that lived next door to us from the time I was probably 3 until high school. There's two women couple that were up the street, probably mid-high school on. So it wasn't anything that was out of the ordinary or out of the kind of like everyday for me. And I've always thought that, okay, like, he's good looking, she's good looking, whatever. And it was never played up or played down in my house. So
you were open to actually
pretty much just kind of open to self-discovery. And then, as I was in college, everyone was, college, and I got drunk and I messed around with my frat bro. And I don't drink, so I don't have that excuse.
Never?
No. I mean, I've tasted alcohol.
But your whole life, that's just not been something you've been into.
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but,
hence your negative 2% body fat.
Right.
Okay. I feel what you're saying.
Don't drink beer. But so I just one day I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to cheat on somebody because of something. So if I'm not dating, then to me it's
you can do whatever you wanted to do.
Exactly. But when I'm dating, I'm monogamous.
Committed.
I'm committed. So I was with my girlfriend. And I was fine with it. I was happy. But I still thought other women were hot, and I never said anything to her about it, but I also thought men were hot. So I just was like, well, you know what? I'm with who I'm with, and I'll be cool. And if I'm not with her and I'm, open and free, not open, but out of it, not in a relationship, then, I can explore
not committed.
And discover,
Okay, so was this a purposeful character choosing? Because was that an uncomfortable? Did you look at that role and go, man, I gotta play, because you are really the premier. I'm gonna call you the sex symbol kind of guy, because you've got two women.
Yeah.
And that's the point. Is everybody's in a married relationship. There's a gentleman, and he's a popular actor. He plays Jacob on the show. What's his name?
Lamont Rucker.
Lamont Rucker, correct.
My aunts love you. My goodness.
And he is typical. Like, he's in a marriage relationship, but he's got his side piece. And his wife is just, she's aware of what's going on, but she's just decided that at this point that the dysfunction is who they are, because it's not necessarily a passionate. It seems almost like a business relationship. Like it's become just routine.
Right.
And so would you have been better off with Kevin's, which was Tye White plays the let me say this, and because you guys will go back and see this, and I said it at your house and we all laughed when he hugs up his co-star and his wife, and she is having a hard time at the opening in episode 1, competing with Grace's return, and she's gonna have a series, a sermon series, and blah, and he goes, "What is that all about?" And said, "You know what you need? Let's go upstairs, let's get some ice cream, and let's turn on The Bachelor." I said, "The Bachelor, huh?" Because there's not a heterosexual man I know who suggests if Dave came home and said, "You're having a really hard time, let's just let me just hug you, let's go upstairs," and he suggested watching The Bachelor. Matter of fact, he would probably leave. He would, and go downstairs and turn on Game of Thrones. So I immediately, before it was kind of exposed that he's struggling with being on the down low, I was like, okay. So there are some telltale. Would that have fit you better, or now can you see yourself as anybody other than Noah?
No, and I think even if I could go back and look at all three roles, Ty's role, my role, and Lamont's role, I like my role the best, specifically because this is the first time I've played this type of role on a series. Like I've been transgender, I've been gay, I've been a firefighter, I've been a cop, I've been a model.
Where were you gay? When did you play gay?
Noah's Ark.
Oh.
So the first season of Noah's Ark, I'm straight, but I'm assumed because I'm always in these precarious positions with one of the boyfriends. And then at the end of the first season, I go like, haha, I'm taking your man to Africa. And then, I come back the second season, and then I say the fateful line, you think you're sorry now, wait till I take your man, bitch. And then all hell breaks loose. So on that season, on that series, I was able to explore all that. And so I think the cool thing about this, and kind of the juxtaposition of Ty's character, Tye being straight playing gay, me being gay playing straight, I think it's also kind of dope, because as long as you're doing your character's job, then what you do on after cut is pretty much whatever. You know what I mean?
And that was going to be the next question I ask you. What times have changed a lot, and it used to be that if you had a sexual, if you were gay, or if you were bisexual, if you had a sexual announcement of any kind other than heterosexual, and you were an actor, people didn't say, because it would almost mess with somebody's mind. In other words, they see you, as gay, and now here I am seeing you with this woman, and my first brain goes, I don't believe that for 1 second.
Right.
He's married. He has a husband.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, but now, so has that changed? I mean,
I believe it has changed. I mean, there's so many actors that, and every year they do like the Out magazine will do the Out 100, and I've even read it and been like, him?
Right.
Or her? Like, right. I just, like, people will pop up, and it's like, if you don't know, and you're just, and it's not, that hasn't consumed you, like who's doing what, and you just like watch this show and you're like, oh my God, I really love that actor. And then you find out, oh, this guy's married, has a husband, has 2 kids.
Right.
And you're like, I mean, at least in my head, I'm like, wow, good for them because they really are doing,
they're doing what they do. Right, exactly. In other words,
it's almost like if you go like, you play Freddy Krueger and you meet Robert Englund in life and you go, you really don't kill people?
Right, exactly. No, same thing.
Right. But I can appreciate the nowness of it and the way that people are basically going, okay, look, you know what? People have different lives, but this is an actor. This is what they do.
Right.
And, props to you.
When we come back, the first thing I would like for you to answer for us is how has this series changed your life? Think about that. Your life and your career.
Yes.
All right. We'll be right back with more of Ben and me.
Marla and Dave.
It's time for the Marla and Dave Doghouse. Marla has something that should put Dave in the doghouse. Dave has something that should put Marla in the doghouse. You decide who gets a biscuit and who gets busted and ends up in the doghouse.
Okay, this is the segment of our show where we usually have some type of marital grievance with the other person. You already heard mine, so there's no need for me to get into that. The fact that Dave is wrecking our voice on tour.
Our voice,
Dave,
our voice.
Dude, get your ish together. You're an acapella singer, bro. Can't afford to scream.
Mm-mm.
You know what's whack? By the way, this is why Dave will be in the eternal doghouse until he comes back. He won't even argue at home.
Oh, really?
No. Oh,
really?
Marla, I'm not going to continue to be able to have this discussion with you because I can't afford to lose my voice.
Hey, that's a
so
strong,
you and Steph Curry though.
That's a strong one though. Hey, baby, I can't talk right now because
that's just so bogus. Anyway,
I'm gonna use that one. Hey, baby, I can't talk because I gotta be sexy next week.
I just gave Ben some fuel. Sorry, Mike. Okay, so let's go back because normally when we started our show, we hit our mood songs. I'd like to play my mood song. This was what I was feeling about today. So let's hit that for me, John.
If I don't, it will turn for the worse. If it's the voice of the Lord, then I'm sure it's gonna work. But everybody ain't got a word. Can I make an observation, please? For this is what I see. It happens all the time to me. Brother Moss, can't I have
Everybody ain't got a word. J. Moss. Let's check out what Ben had on his mind.
I was feeling this.
Oh.
Yeah. That's right.
I feel you.
Isaac Hayes, Hung Up on My Baby, sampled by Ghetto Boys from Mind Playing Tricks.
Yes, they did. That's the first thing I thought.
And Second to None, If You Want It. They did If You Want It, then they can't sing, but they can rap. But yeah, Ghetto Boys.
Ghetto Boys is what the
that's famous for. And I heard that, I was like, that's Isaac Hayes. Isaac Hayes has a lot of really good songs.
So when you're a musician, because I know you are as well, are you just, does music move you, or do you? Because it's like Dave. Do you go out of your way to find eclectic stuff to?
Sometimes I do, and sometimes yes, it moves me because I know I've actually heard stuff for the first time and been like, who is that? Like instantly, like I hear it and I'm just like, oh, I have to find out who that is and what that is. And if it's something like old school stuff where it's like, it's an old sample, like somebody played the song, Evil Vibrations. If you look that up, Evil Vibrations is an old disco song. I listened to it, I'm like, okay, what is this? And then the part kicks in where De La Soul sampled it for Saturdays. Done. And I can do that all day with like 80s, 90s rap, finding the original samples.
Right.
All day long. So I listen to music in that context where I'm like, wow, like listen to that flute. Like I would never want to find a funky flutist.
Right.
And then I hear it on some Isaac Hayes and I'm like, I got to play the flute.
Done.
All
right. Well, we're going to get back to the show. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
What's the action?
You'll laugh. You'll learn. You'll learn. You'll get mad.
Shut up.
You'll get happy. But you won't be bored. This is the Marla and Dave radio show on the Universal Broadcast Network.
All right. So you know what? While we were there, there's a lot of back talk actually been going on right now in the chat room. They're back talking. I said they're talking about Dave and old school in the house. Oh, they're talking about Dave was saying that about your song. And Dave going in the doghouse. And I'm just going to I got to scan quickly. And the statement that I had to say, so I'll say it out to everybody else. Dave, you're going to do what you're told. You're going in the doghouse because right now this is actually my madhouse and Ben's. Now, Ben's not going to put you in the doghouse.
Can't do that.
But I'm going to. And so there you have it. Okay, so there you go. Throwing away the key, lock it up, bye. And now you're locked in. Wow, so you went all the way old school. And so
Isaac Hayes.
you're going to play that for me before we get out of here.
Yes, Evil Vibrations. I'll play it for you.
Okay, so in the meantime, the question I asked you before we went away to the break, how has this particular series changed your life and or your career?
So far, life changer moves. I can say that it's been the most exposure as an actor, and it's also been the most content and the widest range of acting I've had to do. So that being like any other major series I've ever seen on television,
right?
Is starting to be like, hey, aren't you the dude on XYZ?
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like when I'm like hiking
recognition
or whatever, I'm like, y'all don't know who I am? Nope. Hey, you see my arm? No, you didn't. No,
that's hilarious.
As it is right now, it's relatively new, but it's still. I got mentioned in Variety magazine. Shout out to Variety for the fashion mention for the Greenleaf premiere.
What happened with that, bro?
Hey, I'm happy they mentioned me. They mentioned Tye, and Tye would have been here.
Tye got A, and you got a C.
That's all right. That means I'm out of summer school. I can still go play. I just got to take remedial fashion. No, I think you know what they. I think with anything like that. They pick out things that are eye catching,
right?
And then they post it or whatever. So and I was happy that they included it because a friend of mine told me about it, and looked at Variety magazine from June 21st, and I was like, oh, there I am. Hey, watch it. And I thought I looked clean, and Oprah complimented me. Thank you.
I liked it.
So a lot of people liked it. So and I think they liked it too. They complimented my shoes,
right?
They didn't agree necessarily, but it caught their eye. So
right.
I'm on
it was
the radar.
worth mention.
Yes, it was worth mention. So shout out to Variety. Keep it coming. I got some new stuff coming.
Ben, you know what?
Yes.
Here's my personal shout out to you. I'm not even trying to be funny.
Okay.
Dude, it's very rare. You just have you're like, to me in my world, you're like a refreshing little boy. Your spirit, which is a compliment. Because
thank you.
Even when I saw that post, I was like, dang, I love this dude. You didn't even take offense. I looked on your Instagram and it was like, I got a C. That's all good. I'm in summer school. I would have been like, what do you mean a C? You know how much time it took me? I would have been like, okay. So I'm going to get that. Oh, I'm going to have an A. Oh, I got a C?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. But just good though. That's a compliment because that means you're always open and you'll be able to grow with that. And that'll be all fun. And it's not really worth, I think that if it doesn't, take away anything from the essence of your life, then it's not worth getting all worked up. And a lot of people do. So I can appreciate that.
Yeah,
okay. So that's a good thing. So this is national major crushing exposure.
It is.
Which is good.
It is. It's really good.
It's like the bullet.
And I can say that I've met great people at both Lionsgate and OWN, and everyone's just been wonderful, and they're excited about the show, and I'm excited about the show.
Yeah, the show's a great show. And again, Greenleaf on the OWN network. The series is how many episodes are there in total? 10?
13.
13, great.
13, yes.
Episode number 4, which you can always watch all the way up to the current episode, and it airs on Wednesday nights on the OWN network. If you're in Time Warner in the Los Angeles area, it's 173 is the OWN channel. What's OWN East?
Oh,
is that just play? Is that the East Coast feed?
Yeah, it's just the East Coast feed, so I think it's the same channel.
Okay, because they're 173, 174.
Right. That's right.
Okay,
that's
right. So, so I'm just giving you that so you guys can make sure that you catch up the series. But Ben just gave us another great tip: download the app.
Get the app. Get the OWN app.
Get the OWN app, and then you can see it live on whatever your tablet, whatever your mobile device is.
Right.
I think it says HD, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
but
so
if you have like an Atari,
so that's even better.
2600, you can't watch it. Don't try to download something to your ColecoVision.
Did you just say Atari? And ColecoVision?
ColecoVision.
Did you go there?
Remember Smurf?
I remember doot.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Okay. So let me ask you this. It's time for me to try to squeeze some spoilers out of you. Is the sex scene with Kevin, who is played by Tye White, and he is married to one of the sisters, to Grace's sister.
Yes. Deborah Joy Winans.
Right. What?
Deborah Joy Winans.
She's a Winans?
Yes, she is.
She's married to who?
She's the daughter. I want to say her uncle is
Carvin?
No.
Marvin?
Cece Winans?
Cece?
Yes.
That's her aunt. BB?
BB is the uncle. Yes, I'm sorry. Sorry, Deborah Joy. You're going to slap me when you see me next. I know you are.
She's not BB's daughter.
I'm going to Google it because I don't want to say anything wrong. And it's in
David.
For the rest of my life.
We know them. David.
David. Help Ben
Help
Patterson.
Ben Patterson.
At Ben Just Creates.
I know BB. Okay. Wow.
She's
because
one,
only reason I
and
say
that's her
that is
voice
because
when she's
I know the kids.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know the Winans. They
Yeah.
and BB and Cece moved to Nashville.
Yeah.
And I know they all have children, but I haven't seen them since they were young, which is why that's blowing my mind, for the record.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why you hear the shock in my voice. Like,
Yeah,
what
I
the
did,
hell?
Because you're looking at me like, I stole
Yeah,
something.
because her mom's name is Debbie, if this is the same person that we're thinking about.
So
but
she's
I haven't.
the daughter of Carvin.
Carvin.
Okay,
Okay,
see,
so that
thank
makes
you.
more
Good
sense.
one.
Okay.
I was
Woo! I was about to lose my
She's
mind.
related to everyone.
Yeah, she just just when you say wine, it's just the whole family.
Yes.
It's all kind of winings over here. Anyway, so Kevin is married to the Winans, to
Deborah Joy.
and he's struggling with a gay tendency. I can't say he's gay because I've not seen him in a relationship yet, but it looks like you can feel the chemistry. The old boy and I call him old boy, touched his shoulder in the outreach and said, we'll make a great partnership. And he is feeling that.
Yeah.
And he's trying to relate, like, so hey, do you have kids?
Yeah, and it's almost like in Friday when the mom says, "I'll call you," she goes, "Okay," because he's kind of like, this is what was missing, or this is that something, you know what I mean? But he can't because he's like, well, wait a minute, I got a wife and I love her. No, I have a wife and I love her. But,
the convincing.
Yes, and he's trying to sell himself. You know what I mean? So there is a struggle that's starting.
And again, in the church, that is so. I'm telling you, and in my church, in particular, it's almost like there's so many issues that they would rather you just deal with it privately. Don't and this is what the cover up is. But the question I'm asking is, are they gonna go as openly graphic with the because your situation, I'm telling you, almost had a penis popper. I'm sure you did. I was coming. Is it gonna be
almost?
Are they gonna be? Is it gonna? Are they gonna? Is it? Can it be?
I will say this. I want to say it's episode 5.
It's coming. Because at 3, I thought I was like, I couldn't.
It is going to. You're going to be like.
So did Tye have to come to you and go, dude, how do I handle this?
Well, see, interestingly enough, my conversations with the majority of the cast, if I'm talking about my personal life and I'll say my husband, I'll say it like just because I said.
First day we met you.
Right. So when I met Isabel, when I met Anna, we were talking about something and then it came up. But if it never comes up,
right.
I'm not like, hey, y'all, check this out.
Which again, I tip my hat. Only because I have a hard time with your sexual identification being the identifier as to what you do. For example, Michael Sams, great. But why do you have to be a gay football player? But you play great football.
Right.
Because to me, who I actually get sexually involved with is between me and them.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be a shame thing. I mean, in other words, but I feel like so many people are going there, and that it's almost like, and that's what I say for myself. I'm a great talk host. I don't say, hey, I'm Marla from the Marla and Dave show, and I'm in a heterosexual marriage.
Right. You don't say that.
I actually, I'm strictly dickly. I take it down my throat. I swallow it. No, you wish, Dave. I did that on purpose because you wish, don't you, bro? You want that. You do.
He's red again.
He did. You want that. He's like, dang, she says that she swallows and then the show's over. She doesn't even mean it. She doesn't mean it. I don't mean it, people. Anyway, I don't mean it. I don't mean it.
Like,
sorry, Dave.
These people are tripping.
You yell and lose your voice. I don't swallow. Ooh, stinger. Anyway. That's okay. Anyway, okay, so the biggest story here, which is the one that involves Auntie Mavis, which is Oprah's role, is this uncle, which I want to find him in the woods and kill him.
Ooh.
And when they
Uncle
ended,
Max,
episode 3, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Because Grace is sitting there and she's talking to Noah.
Uh-huh.
Woo! And he finally finds out why she just disappears.
Right.
And again,
Right.
these are church issues. There are so many deep-rooted things that are controlled by organized religion that do not, which is the opening scene. That table, what is it about tables? What is it about dinner and tables? And black people in particular.
They let their guard down.
I'm like, you sit at a table and you want to throw turkey.
It's
Aren't we
about
supposed to be
go down.
eating?
Yeah.
No. I don't know how. And Ben, you know what? You're super smart because I noticed that you and Mike didn't have a table. That you have a table, but you didn't put your stuff on the table.
Yeah, I know.
If we all sat down at the table with all those people,
Yeah,
it would have been
kinda-
somebody would have said something wrong. So you just
Somebody
let
would've
it be
said
buffet style.
Absolutely. That's how you do it. That's how
Okay.
you entertain. And you keep it light.
That's what I'm saying.
But
That's
yeah,
how you keep
when-
it light.
When he finds that out, sitting there on the bench with her, all of it comes to him like,
Oh.
so it wasn't we should see other people. It was this happened and you bounced and they didn't do anything about it. And me growing up thinking that all was good and my dad working for the Greenleaf family was, that all comes into play. So now
So in your mind, you weren't good enough,
Right.
Technically,
And I'm
and she was
thinking-
trying to save you from a lot of stuff, including kicking Uncle Max
Yeah.
ass.
Ass.
So now the question that I have, another spoiler.
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
Will you take matters with this man into your own hands since he is a molester? And that is really that's one of the main.
Wow.
You
I
can't
will
say.
I can't. I will say this: as the season progresses,
It's gonna be good.
it's gonna be unbelievable.
Dude, I cannot. I'm like itching.
Greg Allen is an amazing actor, and I say that with.
Does that Uncle Mac?
Yes, Uncle Mac. And
I don't like him.
His
Can you call
scenes-
him and tell him that I don't like him anymore?
You know, and I will
if I
say
see him in the store, I'm gonna be mad at him.
To his credit, he even asked the people that we were getting like social media. He's like, "How do I deal with people that are gonna because
The ignorance.
He plays the hell out of his role.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, his bones
Yeah, he
are
does.
shaking.
Yeah, he does.
And when they say cut, like he has to take a minute. And I've watched one or two scenes. I know two. The first scene when we're in the hallway, and you'll see. I think it's episode 5, where he has a scene with Lady May, and I mean, it shook the room, and everybody was quiet.
Dude, I was done in episode 2, 3 when he walked into Oprah's establishment and she said, "You don't just go handing your paint off," and he laughed. And I'm like, this dude is freaking twisted for real. And I just and by the way, all of these things exist with my loved ones and people I know in our family. And when I say just church family, and it that's my point. And it's squashed because you, like the girl said, which was also classic, the young lady that she looked up. And Grace is now determined to bring this to the forefront.
Yeah.
And she says, fear of what? And she says, ruining it for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a hard pill to swallow. People have that.
And I know of that situation.
Like,
and I'm like,
I don't want to deal
right.
with that. And it's my fault.
Right.
And it's this and that. And it's like,
right.
Predator prey.
So that's where I find the brilliance in this whole series, that the storylines that they have going on are so just deep. They're well written.
Thank you.
They're well acted.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And and let me tell everybody watching, when you can slip into a series, and at this point, as you know, that I'm calling character names.
Yeah.
Because there's no one that I looked at and thought, that's such and such trying to be so and so.
Right.
Which to me is always a telltale sign.
Yeah.
Lynn Whitfield, holy majoli, pajoli, and then that. The main issue that we all deal with in a lot of cases is the wealth of a mega family.
Yeah.
And the political ties, which they hit it all, of a mega family. And how, to me, Lynn Whitfield's character is really her goal is to be the first lady and be held up above all, esteemed above all others.
Yeah.
The Jets.
She's not flying coach. That is a classic line. She goes, "Oh, I will be outside."
And he says, Pastor Greenleaf, can I get you something? He said, yes. You get me a new jet.
You can get me a new jet. You can get me a new jet.
That's exactly.
That's how he said it. Keith.
Say it again.
My man, you can get me a new jet. And my favorite line he says, and I was actually practicing this, is when he goes, before you do anything, before you put any money in that machine down the hall, you make sure it's dripping with the love of Jesus Christ. I was like, you make sure it's dripping. That man, his voice.
Yeah. And the acting.
Before you get a Jerry curl, you make sure that it's dripping. I'm sorry, Keith.
Are stupid. Did you just say
goodness.
Before you get a Jerry curl? Sexual chocolate. Dropping the mic. Doo.
Oh my goodness.
So those are man. So there's a lot. There's a lot coming up. So we talked about a lot of the main characters.
Mm-hmm.
When we come back, were you about to send us to a break?
No, I was going to show that picture of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to know of all the characters that seem to pop out at you in your mind, knowing the cast and knowing the story. Is there a sleeper we should watch for?
Ooh.
Don't answer. Think about it.
Okay, I'm gonna think about that.
Is there a sleeper character? Because there always is. It's the person you never thought or expected. They're kind of almost laying back in the cut, but they come out to do some. Because oh boy is my vote. The obscure the white the counter Kevin's. I don't even know his name. That's why I keep calling him old boy. He might be more. I don't know. Think about it.
Okay.
I want to know who the sleeper cell is in the series Greenleaf. We're talking Greenleaf. We're having a blast. Benjamin Patterson is here. For those of you who are watching the series, you know him as Noah, the hoe. No, I'm kidding. I just made that up. Tune in. We'll be right back.
It's time to play the Marla and Dave Love Game. Here are Marla and Dave to explain how it works.
I'm going to ask John to hand me the MaD Love Game.
Yeah.
For those of you who are just tuning in, shame on you. But for those of you who ride with us every week, which is a lot of you, then you already know that this is the Marla and Dave. This is a game Dave and I created. And this game has several things. Number one, there's 3 categories to this game. The 3 categories that seem to affect every relationship. Sex, communication, and money. There's also a single die in this game. And on this die is represented a symbol for all 3 categories, as well as on this die, there's a MaD logo. The MaD logo, if it is rolled, it turns up and you get to choose which category that you'd like to draw. Each of these questions on this card are official questions that have been put here from the research from the PEW Research Center. So I'm going to ask for Mr. Benjamin Patterson. No, he's gonna hook you up to go ahead and see how lucky he is. Go ahead.
Hands on the dice game, baby. Hold up.
Mama need a new parachute. Mama need a condom. You might want to roll sex.
Lose a turn. We can't do that. That's whack. Hold up. Let me get some space here.
So if you were playing the game, it would be somebody else's turn. What does that say?
It says the Marla and Dave's Love Game.
Okay, so that means you get to pick.
I get to choose.
Of these 3 categories, red is sex, green is money, and blue is communication.
I'm going to choose sex, Marla.
Of course you are, Dave. I mean, Ben.
Don't talk. Just listen.
Okay. I
love this music, by the way.
What is the smallest penis recorded on record?
Oh, wait.
And this is an official measurement.
Wow. I'm going to...
John, turn your mic on. We need you to weigh in.
I love how that saxophone just kicked in just now. I was like, somebody...
This is official.
I'm watching Lethal Weapon.
Listen, I don't need you to get caught up in the song.
I'm going to say like 3/4 of an inch, like something. I think I've seen like some raw, crazy picture where it's like...
That didn't really develop.
I'm like, sorry, dog. Like there's a condition.
Sorry, dog.
Sorry, man.
You're not going down doggy style lane with that.
Nah, you gonna have to.
What do you think?
A centimeter.
No, that's hella small. Like you gotta be able to like pee.
How much do we convert? How much is a
So an
centimeter?
inch. Listen,
I know what an inch is, but a centimeter in inches. Like if you converted that, what would it look like?
0.39.
That's like a grain of
Okay,
salt.
so listen, let me put you guys out of your misery. A grain of salt. You better come get some of this salty stuff. Speck. You better get this salty speck. I'm mad at you guys. Okay. What is the size of the smallest penis on record is the question. The official answer is the smallest penis on record is 5/8 of an inch.
What the hell's that?
Damn.
That's like
3/4.
That's like this, maybe this big.
You should never say you having a bad day.
You
ever.
can't say you have a penis. You should stop telling people. And you better be the best at cunnilingus ever on the planet. And oral, the smallest penis in the world. Okay. Here we are.
Who goes in and says, "Hey, y'all"?
You can't show that to
Measure
anybody.
this.
Well, you have to because you have that. That's your only claim to fame.
Yeah, you gonna. Hey, you think you got a lot of money?
Hey, you know what? You think you rolling? Are you in the Guinness Book?
Let me say.
You in the Guinness Book? Here's my page.
Bam.
Page 306.
You see? Turn 368. See that? No, not in the top corner.
That's me.
That's me right there.
That's how I'm rolling. Right there.
See, actually, the page comes with a magnifying glass, so if you look closely, see in the back. Yeah, that's me. That's me. That's all day.
David, make them stop. It's out of control. Okay, so listen.
But there should be a flip side to that question.
Listen, with the Marlon Dave, with the Mad Love game, part of the fun of it is there's always a further discussion question that you can ask, that you can discuss with your guest, which makes the conversation always interesting.
Yes.
The further discussion question is, what size do people prefer? What do you think that someone prefers?
See, I think with this music going where it's going right now, I want to say
blame
that
the music.
That is such a I don't know. Like some people, smile.
Let me explain this to you. I think everybody even has a different capacity to receive different things. However, I don't think anything. Some people are into shock.
That's true.
I think function is and pleasure is everything, and I think too big is out of control and it's not fun. It's just like you don't want to. To me, I don't want to dread sex.
Right. You're like
every time, but I also don't want to not feel it.
Right. You got it.
You can't be in there with
Costco,
rice,
but you don't want 7-Eleven.
Correct. Yeah, I don't want the quickie.
Right.
I don't want the quick stop.
Right.
But I definitely don't want to bring home bulk items. I feel you. I like what you're saying. I don't want the bulk.
Not quite.
I don't want leftover penis.
But I don't want.
Because you don't use all the stuff at Costco. It just sits in your garage. I don't want half the penis in the garage because I couldn't use it.
Because half of it will sit out there.
It will. It'll rot.
And what part is it?
And how you going to deal with that?
Is it the skin? If you're going to go there, I'm going to go.
You're going to go to the ball side or we're going to go to the tip side? What are we going to do? Anyway, Ben is way too much fun. I'm going to kidnap him. But in the meantime, we'll be right back with more of the show.
So I want to know, on record, if that's the smallest.
Yes.
What's the biggest?
David is a thinker.
I never do anything without thinking about it first.
Marla is a feeler.
I basically wear my personality on my sleeve.
But when Marla and Dave get together, it's like a match dancing with a firecracker. This is the Marla and Dave radio show on the Universal Broadcast Network.
The Housewives of Atlanta. They talk about that dude Ridiculous. Come on now.
Hold on. Let me give the poll question. Ben has got us. Ben is crazy. I see now that he belongs in the madhouse for real, for real.
Belong to me.
Okay. The question last week was the NBA Finals fixed to push for a Game 7? No, it was fair play. Yes, more games, more money. 100% of the people voting said it was yes, hashtag more games, more money.
Wow.
They felt it was fixed.
Interesting.
100%.
Wow.
Next week's poll question, please make sure you vote every week. Go to our site, www.marlondave.com, as well as, I forgot to let you guys know, you can have your own Mad Love game. Yes. Log on to the www.marlondave.com and go to Mad Merch. Anything that is Marlon Dave, you can go mad there all day long. We would appreciate it, and you'll have a lot of fun.
It's hella fun.
Next week's poll question: do you think that each state turning in a list of registered gun owners to the FBI database will help reduce gun violence? Yes, it's a good start. No, worthless rights violation. So that's the question for you guys to vote on next week. Vote right there on the front of our page. We'll be right back with more penis talk.
Can you handle the truth? This is modern American dialogue in a mad world from two unique, fresh, transparent perspectives. This is the Marla and Dave Radio Show.
All right, before we're gonna have to get ready to close out, but before we do, I have to tell this quick story in honor of the question we answered today on the Mad Love game, which was, what is the smallest penis on record? If you want to impress your friends with this knowledge, write it down. It's 5/8 of an inch. And then the question that Ben threw out was, or the query, he didn't ask the question. He just had a general query.
I was like, hey.
And the query was, if that's the smallest, what's the largest? And I know that the largest man lives in Jamaica. Listen, it's one thing when you're the wife, and this is very similar to me, Ben, is coming to your house, for the record. I'm always the one female amongst the Take Sixers and all their crew, and everybody's a man but me, right? Mm-hmm. So we're in Jamaica, and the guys were singing and doing a concert in Kingston. So we're in a bus. And we're headed to the venue, and there's a man walking down the street, and all of a sudden now, no one else on the bus is paying attention to this, and I was like a moth to a flame.
Burned by the fire.
This man, I'm sorry, guys, I have to stand up. It's very important. You might not be able to hear me, but I'm going to just give this quick thing. My face was stuck. I was like, and I said, oh my God, look at that man. And he was nude. And flaccid, he was kicking his penis around with his leg. His penis, flaccid, was hanging right above knee.
Wow.
And I thought, all I could think to myself, and this is Marla's crazy world. What goes on? Being John Malkovich ain't got nothing on me. I thought, this man, if he tries to get erect, he passes out. All his blood in his whole body.
It's done. He's gonna forget
he can't
his name.
even. How do you get that whole thing hard? You can't.
Sandra wants to know his name.
All I know is you're gonna need some soap and water though, because it was really dirty and crusty. It looked like if you plucked it, it would just crack. Like
it was a plantain.
I'm like, and then I said, I'm screaming out on the bus. Like, oh my God, did you see? And David is like, really, Marla? And I said, no, look at this. He said, okay. And the bus driver goes, yeah, that's such and such and such. You know, he's crazy. They just let him go. He walks around. I'm like, he can't have sex with that? That's only the club people who are stealing.
You expect me to put the pants on this? And they'd be like, nah, dog, you just keep on here. You just forget it, man. Forget it.
Oh my God. Anyway, we really aren't here to talk about penises, even though I digress.
Well, Nicole wants to know, when is the Mad Sex game coming?
The Mad Sex game is coming. The Mad Sex game I'm hoping to have ready by the end of the year. So this is it'll be volume 2. We've sold this out on cruises. It's a great game. The Mad Sex game is coming, but in the meantime, Benjamin.
Yes.
What is the one thing that I should be looking forward to, and who's your sleeper? You didn't tell me.
Okay. Sleeper character. I will say
somebody we should watch for that may not jump out at us.
Isabel.
All right. Keep our eyes out for Isabel. Ooh, I love
Isabel. Boy.
I love Greenleaf Dirt.
Yes.
I'm all into this series, as you can tell.
It's pretty hot. And the other question though was, before who the sleeper is, was what? What you were saying something. It was deep. It was raw. It was cold blooded. It was from the heart.
Are you gonna kill Mac?
Oh, I can't answer that. But what I can say is,
are you gonna get back with Grace? Are you gonna kick your fiance to the curb, because you know she's threatened by Grace? You know that, right?
Grace has a power about her. But if you watch 3, when we're at the dinner table,
I saw 3.
She was like, "Nah, girl, this is all. You're 87, I'm 89." Like,
yeah, except she doesn't mean that. She knows what she's working with.
She's up against a lot. But that's what I'm saying. Like, Isabel is so strong, and she's smart. You know what I mean?
You think Isabel is?
I think she's smart.
I think she's smart.
Yeah,
I think they're both smart.
I think
that what Grace has right now for Isabel is that Grace knows that you have an unresolved situation, and Grace knows that's you are already her place based on the past
on the
thing.
past.
It was never
Yeah.
based on the past.
Yeah. And the possibility is now, I didn't mess up.
Correct.
So
you're going to get a lot of booty. Okay, so Noah the Hoe. No, I'm just kidding. Ben, where can people find you always?
You can find me always. Ben Just Creates on Twitter and on Instagram, Benjamin Patterson all day. I'm also on Facebook, Benjamin Patterson, with a little check mark. That's me.
Download the OWN app as
Download the OWN
well as, by all means, you guys, Facebook, everywhere, Greenleaf OWN.
Yes.
That's
Tune
where
in.
you can get all the hot gossip. I'm going to be writing my butt off. I'm telling you. So if you miss it, you can start looking to me to bring reviews before every show here on the Marla and Dave Show. I'm going to do that for you guys.
Wednesday nights, 10 o'clock.
All right.
9 Central.
Ben, this is bittersweet.
This is kind of, it's right. Kind of, yeah.
I'm going to miss you. Good luck with your Speedos in Mexico.
Mexicana.
Yeah, you should try tequila and put on some long pants.
I think to give anybody tequila, the long pants are coming up.
We'll see you guys next week.